to my channel. It's your girl Victoria. I hope that you're all doing well and that you are in such a good space mentally, okay? Keeping track of that mental health. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about Black Lives Matter. Yes, Black lives still matter to this day. But before we get started on the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. Like, just do that, okay? If there's one thing that you do today besides watch this video, the next thing is then to like and then subscribe. So if y'all could do that for me, I would very much appreciate it. So let's get right into the video. Just with Black Lives Matter in general, let me just start off with saying that Black Lives Matter is not a hate group. I don't know who said that, I don't know who told y'all that, but it's not a hate group. It was probably Candace Owens, but let me tell you something. I don't like you, Candace. I really don't. I don't know why people listen to Candace Owens. I mean, I do understand why she pushes a specific type of narrative that I'm just like not about. I don't support her. I feel like she's a sellout. And she's probably the one that told y'all that Black Lives Matter was a hate group. But let me tell you something. It's not. Let's first talk about the protest. So we had the protest here in Brisbane and it was packed to the max. They said there was about 30,000 of us, and let me tell you something. There definitely was. I couldn't see past the two people in front of me, y'all. It was packed. Black people, white people, Asian people, Pacifica, all of these people and more, just standing in solidarity for Black lives. It was amazing. It was my first ever Black Lives Matter protest, and honestly, I would go to another one. If I lived in the States, I would be at them every single day. Just seeing all of these people with their signs, I was crying, y'all. I fully was crying there because it just means so much to see people coming together and standing up for justice and for equality and for freedom. It was amazing, and I truly loved it. I'll never forget it. So Black Lives Matter, that of course started in regards to what happened with Trayvon. If you look it up and you discover why it all started, it's because of what happened with Trayvon Martin and with George Zimmerman and how he was acquitted. Now George Zimmerman was obviously, he's not a police officer. I mean, he thought he was that night, but he is not. Of course it escalated then into police brutality because we had the deaths and killings of Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice, and all these other people, and a lot of other people that we don't even know because they weren't filmed. Black Lives Matter though is not also just about police brutality. It's not just about how we don't like cops or our disconnection in our relationship with cops. It's also about mass incarceration. It's also about how there is redlining in certain particular Black areas. It's also about poor education and how we don't get treated the same way to our white counterparts. It's also about our healthcare system. Why is it that Black women have died at such a high rate in regards to giving birth in the medical, like it's about microaggressions and how people just treat Black people in general, how we're just not looked at as human, a whole bunch of things. So let's just talk about George Floyd. Everything that happened with him was absolutely disgusting. The fact that a man had to die over a $20 bill, what is going on here? And of course before that you had Ahmaud Arbery, who was just running, he was just exercising, and people thought it was weird that he was exercising and running in their own neighborhood, so they killed him. And then you also have Breonna Taylor, who was out here just sleeping, minding her own business, and the cops went in there and killed her, and she wasn't even the right person, and here they are still working as cops. And you're expecting Black people to not be upset. You also have everything that happened before that. 400 years of slavery. You got Jim Crow. You have mass incarceration. You have the war on drugs. You have stop, no frisk. You have 3 strikes, you're out. You have just racism and people being dickheads to us in general. And you out here expecting us to not be upset? What? Now let me just tell you another thing. You do not have the right to tell Black people how to protest. I'm sorry, but you don't. With everything that we've been going through, you do not have the right to sit there and judge us for how we protest, if we choose to riot, if we choose to protest every single day. I do not care. You don't have the right to sit there and judge us. No, let it burn, okay? Let it burn. Let it be Dracarys out here in this bitch. Let it burn, y'all. Say goodbye. We have done so many things to get through to y'all. Be grateful that we literally have not sought revenge, and all that we really are seeking is just to be treated nicely and to just be left alone. Like, y'all always bothering us. And if you're gonna come on here and say that all lives matter, you're just being ignorant. You are literally just being ignorant. You are refusing to look at the bigger picture. You're refusing to see what it is that is actually wrong. Okay, let's just get that off of our chest. Obviously, when you sign a petition to save the whales, you ain't gonna be like, well, all mammals matter. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Now, while we're on the subject of this as well, I do want to bring up black on black crime. I ain't here to talk about statistics when it comes to black on black crime. When people say that shit to me, all I hear is crime. All you're telling me is that there is crime happening in a neighborhood. That's literally it. Okay, crime is happening in a neighborhood, and that neighborhood so happens to have predominantly black people in it. That is all you are telling me. I hate it. I absolutely hate it when you're out here talking about Black Lives Matter, and then people come up in here and are like, but what about black on black crime? There's a statistic. It's like 98% black people killing black. What? First of all, when it's black on black crime, that black person goes to jail. Okay? We're here talking about police brutality. We're here talking about a white man in a uniform killing a black man or a black woman or child and not getting arrested. All they get is a slap on the wrist to go home on pay. Okay? That what we're talking about is two different things. It's gaslighting as hell. It's white propaganda, and it's divisive. Okay? I don't like that. So when you hear somebody, if you out here talking about Black Lives Matter and then you hear another person yell at you black on black crime, honestly, I give you permission to slap a hoe. Statues need to go down. Okay, y'all out here acting as if we are literally trying our best not to get over slavery and everything else that has come along with it. Literally give me an explanation of why we need them. Why do we need a building that was literally built just to hold people that y'all stole so that other people can come and look at them and see if they were good to go here to this plantation, to go to this plantation, to go be a big mama and a chef in this house? Why is it that we don't need these buildings? We don't need these statues of Columbus and every other slave master around the world. I don't care if that town is named after that person. Get rid of it. So upset about these statues being graffitied and destroyed. Listen, just imagine how we feel. Take everything that y'all have stolen and looted from other lands that are not yours. How about you replace those with the statues of these people that you so desperately don't want to be destroyed? How about you do that? Okay? When it comes to defunding the police, and a lot of people have been posting about this on their socials, I've been posting about it because, listen, I mean, let's be very honest. When I first read it, I was like, I don't know about this. We still need police. But I realized that this literally makes sense. It makes so much sense. Why is it that if you go into a white neighborhood or just a white community, they have good schools, they have good after school programs, they have the health care that they need, they have the mental care resources that they need, they have better grocery stores with healthier food options to eat, they have all of these things, and you don't see any police cars patrolling them. But then when you go into a black neighborhood, you see things like not only the police are patrolling on every street, but they don't have good health care, they don't have good education, they don't have good homes. If the police just gave a bit of their billions of dollar budget back into the community that they are supposed to serve, then yes, we would have a better relationship with the police, because they're not babysitting us all the time. They're not watching us and making sure that we're not doing anything bad and that we're not harming each other or anybody else. You know, if they just looked at the resources and actually actually gave it out to everybody equally, then yes, we would have a better relationship with the police, because we would actually then be receiving the resources that we need. We would get good health care, we would get good education, we would actually do what America wishes that we would do, which is to strap on our bootstraps and get to work. Well, guess what? We can't really do any of those things because the system is not built and designed in our favor. Like, does that make sense? And I just want people to know that defunding the police does not mean that we don't need police no more. Obviously, if I get raped, I'm gonna call the police. Obviously, if somebody comes into my house that is not welcome, that is, I'm sleeping, yeah, I'm gonna call the police. But they don't need a bajillion quadrillion dollars in their budget when the communities that they are supposed to be serving have nothing. Police officers were only brought into existence to protect white people and white property. They were only there to make sure that there were no runaway slaves, make sure that we wasn't doing anything wrong, and they are still continually doing that today. Now they go into this whole thing, we're protecting and serving, but not actually protecting and serving everyone. It does not matter if your husband is a police officer. It does not matter if your brother or your sister or your wife, whoever in your family or your friend, your best friend, is a police officer. Find another occupation. There are other ways for you to serve the community. It is total trash, okay? It will always continually be a trash ass system if we don't change nothing. If it is not restructured and redesigned so that every single human being gets equal treatment, sweetie, it will still be trash. Trash. Okay? Anyways, y'all, I think you're getting the point. I mean, I hope so. I'm just giving my thoughts. I'm not out here to, you know, be like I'm right, you're wrong, but I'm definitely right. So that is the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below what it is your thoughts are on this whole topic of Black Lives Matter and just everything that's going on in the world. I want to have a dialogue and discussion about this. So put in the comments below your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.